Hey guys, Tim Anderson here from Marginal Boundaries. Welcome to episode 2 of the Business of Travel Blogging Sponsored Travel. Today we're going to be talking about expertise in the fields of publicity and media relations. Now, when you're looking at doing a sponsorship for someone, you're looking at doing a press tour, it is partly related to the audience that you've already built up at your blog and the loyalty that you have inspired with those readers, so that they're actually going to go out there and take action based upon whatever it is that you're recommending. Now, size of your audience is going to be a factor when it comes to achieving a sponsorship. But companies don't just look at your overall audience size. They're also going to look at your professionalism as it relates to publicity and media. Now, if you're just some random blogger who's happened to start a blog and you've been doing it for a couple of years and you've built up an audience and you've inspired people to take action before in the past based upon your recommendations, that's great. But here's the thing, just because you have a blog and just because you reach a certain amount of people with your audience does not mean you are an expert in publicity. And it does not mean that you are an expert in media. Media relations and media connections are things that take years to build up. These are things that come about as a result of you being a journalist or having a journalistic approach to your blogging and being published at more places than just your blog. Media relations are built up over time with professional media outlets. Think Yahoo Travel, for example, Boots and All Travel, Matador Network. These are all examples of media outlets that are related to the travel industry. If you do not have personal relationships built up with these individual outlets, you do not have media experience, nor do you have access to the media outlets that certain sponsors are going to want you to prove before they're willing to work with you. That's only one part of it, though. The other part is professionalism as it relates to publicity. Now, publicity comes in many forms. Again, it's somewhat about relationships, having access to journalists and journalist outlets that can help you tell the story that you're wanting to tell and to have it reach the maximum amount of readers outside of your own very limited pool of personal readers at your blog. Publicity is about sharing information, and it's about getting the word out there to the public. And if you're someone who has just come into the industry within the last 6 months to a couple of years, you probably don't have the public relations expertise, much less the connections that it's going to require in terms of being able to get the word out there. Because a lot of sponsors aren't just interested in what you can bring to the table with your blog. They're also interested in what you can bring to the table in terms of greater overall exposure. Sometimes when people will ask for your press kit, they're also going to ask you for what publications have you been featured in. Where can you expand our readership? They're looking to specifically know what other types of exposure can you bring to the table above and beyond your blog. And if all you've ever done is your blog, you're not going to have that. So, something you need to be thinking about as you're building up towards earning the right to have sponsored travel offered to you is expanding your media and public relations and your personal connections in those fields so that you can generate a professional side of publicity and media relations with your blog. You need to be able to have those connections. You need to be able to have proven expertise in these areas so that you can actually maximize what you're bringing to the table with the sponsors. That's it for episode 2. Stay tuned for the next one. Safe travels. See you guys on the flip side. Cheers.